right. It's Wednesday evening, but we already knew that, didn't we, gang?
We did.
We did. Wednesday night, and we are This Fan's View. We're nice and relaxed. We're home. We're not traveling tonight. Everybody's relaxed, right? Give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Get ready for the heat tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, the weather's definitely been crazy in these parts. That's for darn sure.
Oh yeah.
But hey, recap last week real quick because we had a hell of a show last week at Dagwoods with our special guest Ron Jaworski. Um, just probably one of our top shows of the year. We've had some good ones, but he was a great guest, and he was definitely well worth bringing them to Dagwoods and having all those folks that attended enjoy the show and the pre and post party because he came early and stayed late. So that's always awesome.
Oh yeah.
Joe's bragging about 95 degrees down in Florida, so keep that down there. We don't need that.
Exactly.
We
That's
do
for
not
sure.
need that. But so let's jump right in to what we got going on, which is a pretty quiet week, kind of quiet. You guys up there in Reading, or you got a short work week because you guys are heading to Pittsburgh for the weekend.
Yep, we're headed there. We're going to leave tomorrow night after work, so we get a full day in on Friday, which is different. Normally, we just leave Friday morning, but we're going to try to extend it a little bit more and leave tomorrow night.
Excellent. What's first, or what's prominent? Like what makes the trip a successful one?
Well, we always catch a couple Pirates games while we're there. Mm-hmm. Normally 2. We do Friday and Saturday night. They play at 11:30 on Sunday, so there's a chance we might grab that one too before we head back home. But Altoona is also home on Sunday, and we like to check out some other minor league parks if we can.
Okay.
So we're not really sure what Sunday looks like, but there is a Pittsburgh sports show this weekend up there. So we are headed there on Saturday for a little bit to check out what's going on. And then it's always a trip to Pittsburgh when it includes a stop at the Clemente Museum. I can buy some wine. So, yeah.
There's a lot of stuff on there. I don't know if we'll get to it all, but
we'll get to it all.
Is there do we just, free ride that or we have an itinerary?
We have a rough itinerary because some of the stuff isn't open on Saturday, so you have to hit it on Friday. There's a downtown sports shop that Anthony likes to frequent, but that's only open on Fridays, so we got to get there. We got a rough idea of where we're going to go, but we'll see what we fit in. It won't be our only trip to Pittsburgh this summer, so.
You say it won't be?
It won't be, right.
Excellent. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Well,
Anthony, while you're out there, you're going to need to look for a Pittsburgh Pirates hat with the pillbox one with stars on them.
I got that, but I don't have stars on mine.
It does.
Oh, does it?
I think it has stars on the side.
Oh, maybe it has a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one. I just don't wear it because I look like a ding dong.
I think they all did too.
Yeah. But I have it.
We had a request here at the store for one, so.
Wow.
So you
for
might
for Kent Ticovey to sign on June the 11th.
Wow. I'll sell mine if you want.
As long as that stars, he's in.
All right.
There you go.
All right.
We'll say hello to all of our friends at the Mainline Autograph Show, and yes, they have a lot of Pirates, Steelers. I don't know. Is there? Yeah. No Flyers. How about that? What was I getting ready? And any Penguins at that show or not this time?
I don't think so. I don't
remember seeing any.
There's a lot of Steelers on Sunday, but there's actually a lot of Hall of Fame guys, baseball Hall of Fame guys. Why am I blanking? Pudge.
Yeah, Pudge Rodriguez and a couple other names on Sunday.
Yeah.
And there might be.
If the Penguins would have realized they weren't going to make the advance in the playoffs, they may have signed up for it.
Oh,
They got pretty. They did pretty well.
they made it further than the Flyers.
Well, listen, if someone said to the Flyers, "Hey, you can make the playoffs for the next 16 years," would you accept that? I think they would probably accept that.
You had to get them started, John.
How to get me started, John?
That's what I do. Start the pot.
Well, speaking of the Flyers, we can work our way from last place up to whatever. I got excited because I read an article just a little bit ago, and I read. I guess I filled in the line the way I wanted it to. That the Flyers were going to interview Barry Trotz on Friday. And I thought it read that they were going to hire Barry Trotz on Friday. I don't know. I'm kind of
wishful thinking.
Back and forth. I don't know what direction we need them to go in. I don't know that they have a direction right now. Things need to get worked out and worked out fast. They seem to be signing an awful lot of young players, and I don't know.
Well, that seems to be the problem. It doesn't seem like they have a direction. Are you going to sort of blow it up, or are you just adding players because they want help? I don't know if they know at this point.
Well, I guess they've brought up so many players from the minors that they've got to replenish maybe the farm system, to keep that as fresh as possible. Because I guess they're expecting a lot of these young kids that are gonna make the big team. Because they've got so many holes. I don't know. I've got a lot of questions, and nobody seems to be able to answer because, are you sticking with the general manager that's in place right now? Is he going to be in charge of hiring the new coach? Does the new coach have any power? Is it going to be another power struggle? Elaine, they tried that with Elaine Vigneault, and we saw how that went. So, Joe, they picked 5th in the draft.
Yep.
They should get a decent player, but is he going to be an automatic for the big team? Probably not.
Right.
But that's it on Flyers talk. Unless you guys got something up your sleeve that.
Well, positive notes. Tomorrow's the 48th anniversary of them winning the Stanley Cup, so that's good.
It's been that long, eh?
Well, they won. Yeah, that was the 48th year anniversary tomorrow. So that's a positive.
Not to get off track here, but so I was listening to this podcast this morning, and they were talking about Pirates in general, but they were talking about the Penguins and how Fenway Sports purchased the team. And the reason I bring that up is they were talking about entities buying teams and how a lot of people in Pittsburgh were nervous because these are like Boston guys. But they said the new owners are very heavily invested, and they're there sitting up in the press box all the time, and they want to, Boston sports now being so good, they want this team to continue winning like that. And it just made me think of the Flyers in a way, because they were, Comcast sort of has the ownership, but you don't really see, maybe because it's a bigger organization that does just more than sports, you don't really hear about, hey, the so-and-so from Comcast is sitting in the owner's booth trying to figure out how they're going to win a championship.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems like it's the same thing over and over. So I just thought that was interesting.
Well, they're buying up a lot, right? They've got a couple of big NASCAR race teams.
Yeah, I think they have some. I think they have some soccer teams, things like that. But it sounds, everyone was very nervous when a bigger company gets involved, and it sounds like they're doing everything the proper way. And it just reminded me of the Flyers with Comcast. It does have you heard of any guy from Comcast sitting there and wanting to breed winning? It seems like it was almost like an investment just to make some money sort of thing, rather than try to make championships. And that's what's frustrating, when it's an outside entity. Do they really care about winning, or is it just something they can purchase to make some money?
True.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know. I'm a little, I'm obviously discouraged from last season, and I don't know what direction they're heading. Um, Joe Singer, too many hands in the pot. Yeah, I guess I don't know what hands are in the pot, to be honest with you. Um, there's a lot of people throwing a lot of different things out there, but. At some point, I guess we'll see a list of management, from top to bottom, and who's in charge of the draft, and who's bringing in who. I know we spoke with. I didn't personally, but somebody spoke with Bill Barber the other day, and Billy's on the watch list, I guess, and he said Fletch was overseas, getting with all his scouting people over there, and I guess they're looking for the next Yaromir Yager or Alexander Ovechkin, right?
Hopefully.
Um, so um, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. They got a lot of work to do, but speaking about a lot of work. Um, we started off with the Pittsburgh trip that you guys are taking. Lauren, fill us in. I know you gave us a quick couple of minutes last week about the walk for the animals with Humane. How did that finish up for you guys? I know you're probably still waterlogged from that day, but did it end well? I mean, are you happy with the results?
It's a rain or shine event, so we knew going into it we were going to have it regardless. So it went off. We did the very best that we could given the circumstances. But yes, it was very cold, very rainy all day. It never really let up. Just when you thought the rain was maybe subsiding, a couple minutes later it came back again. I was honestly shocked, and I don't know what you think about how many people actually showed up. The amount of people that came to probably get their shirt, primarily. They probably didn't stay for very long, but I was shocked how many people were there. As far as the dollars we raised, we weren't able to quite hit our goal this year, but that's a variety of reasons. The biggest one being that we moved it from the fall to the spring. So everybody that fundraises, everybody that walks, they just did it in September. And now we're back at it again in May. So that's pretty challenging for folks, especially my bigger teams that raise thousands and thousands of dollars. And then just still people's uncertainty with the world impacts everything that's going on. This was the first year we offered a virtual walker. So we'd never done that before. Obviously, we had our walk virtually in 2020, but we never offered a virtual walker option. And we actually sold I think it was 33 virtual walker options this year, which was surprising. I really didn't know how that was going to go. And basically, people were just paying the normal registration fee plus a little bit more to get a shirt in the mail.
Nice.
So that was a nice added bonus that we'll basically just keep on every year. Sort of no harm, no foul with those. So good learning experience. Took a lot away from it. But we didn't quite hit where we needed to be. But all in all, the event, no issues considering the amount of rain.
Good. Good to hear. Good to hear. Let's throw it over there to your other half because you got the week off, right? The Vikings are in Somerset, and you're kind of like on a little mini vacation.
Oh, 100%. And I'm not doing a thing. No, yeah, it's crazy. The stadium had semifinal county championships yesterday. Tonight's county championships. We have a realtors event on Friday and then a touch a truck event on Sunday for the little kids. So all that before we come back to the homestead next week. But next week should be good. You have Tuesday night or Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday night. Tuesday's a Camp Kid Day, but Wednesday's Dan Baker and Mickey Morandini for Cancer Night. You have Thursday, Friday, Saturday fireworks, and then Sunday. I forget.
Well, you skipped right over Saturday.
And how about Thursday night?
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah,
Right over Thursday night too.
fireworks. I said fireworks.
Yeah, but you didn't say who fireworks.
Oh, the big man's fireworks.
Big man's fireworks.
How's that all going? Tickets going good? People coming in?
Oh, you kidding me? I'm going to rock the house.
Wow. All right.
You kidding me? I'm going to fill those red seats.
We could use them filled. It's been good. We've had looking at we had a meeting today to look to the games ahead, and it looks like we're ahead in all the categories we need to be as of this point. So I think finally people are just tired of being at home and excited to come out. So we've been excited to be ahead in most of the categories that we projected at this point, which is good.
Very cool. Very cool. We were back out there Sunday for the breast cancer awareness, which was a cool event with the players wearing the jerseys and whatnot. Very cool. Always enjoy the interaction with people and the players and whatnot. And I know Lauren had a little bit with her guy. What was his name? Brandon
Zerbinski?
Yeah,
something like that.
Zarbinski.
Yeah.
I know a couple of those letters are missing or out of place, so I'm not sure the pronunciation. But he seemed really cool, and he acknowledged you on Instagram. With the pink number 36 jersey for Queso, Aunt Joan, as she's known to many. That is Sue's sister, passed away very young. But it was nice of you to acknowledge and keep that tradition alive.
Yeah, I think it's
so
our
cool.
third year doing that. I think we started. You guys started it you did it in 2019, and then obviously not in 2020. So, our third year doing it.
Very cool. Very cool. Very, very cool. The only other thing that I had to mention with the fightings, I found interesting at the radio gal. Help me out with her last name. Emily Messina.
Yep.
Her and Logan O'Hoppe traveled to Philadelphia on Monday, off day, to be on the Bull Show.
Yeah.
Down at the Hard Rock Cafe, and I was able to watch that, and he's a pretty interesting young kid. I can only hope that he continues his path to the major leagues.
And he's very respectful. When he came into town, he came in the office and introduced himself to everybody, which is very, very rare for any of those guys to say hello or speak in the first place, let alone come in and introduce himself. So he's very respectful, and he's one of those guys that are just a good human being. So you hope for the best for him.
Yeah, for sure. You could just pick up on that right away on the interview, and I know Emily's interviewed him a couple of times. I know he had 2 homers Sunday. Was it Saturday or Sunday? Saturday night, maybe. He had 2 homers.
Yeah.
No, he had 2 homers in the first game versus Somerset in that loss. But he had 2 homers in that game, so he's playing quite well.
Yes. Yep.
So, yeah, there's a lot of those guys, and not a lot. I don't want to say a lot. There have been guys over the years who, haven't been like top prospects and refuse to, take pictures or sign balls. So when you have a guy like that, it's very appreciative by everybody.
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
We have some.
We can leave that there. I don't think we need to open up any cans of anything. But next Thursday night is our night there. I believe that's what you were referring to, the big man's fireworks.
That's it.
That's Thursday night. Carl's Cards and Collectibles as our first sponsorship game, so we're looking forward to that. What do we got going, Lauren? We're gonna do a charity auction of some sort.
We're going to do raffles, so similar to what we do at our live shows, where tickets will just be $1 a piece. You'll be able to buy as many as you'd like to put in to win a variety of items. I'm not exactly sure what those items are going to be yet or how many there's going to be, but we'll get those posted once we have those. And anyone that's at the game is welcome to stop by, buy some tickets. And yes, all the money will be donated back to charity. So that'll be Thursday. Our table setup will be right in the plaza. So if you're out at the game, just make sure you swing by and take a look. And then I assume you still have tickets floating around, Dad?
We've got tickets. We've got tickets.
So if you're interested in attending, just swing by the store and grab some tickets. They're free as part of our sponsorship. So it should be a really nice night.
So hopefully we have some sunny skies and we don't get rained upon.
Exactly. Never in baseball town is there rain.
That's what we're hoping for.
We've been pretty lucky this year. It's only been just Saturday so far we've had rain during an actual game, so we've been pretty lucky.
There you go.
Interesting. Very good. So while we're on the topic of next week, Wednesday, we are back at our Delco spot, Hanrahan's Irish Pub. So you guys can plan your calendars accordingly for next week. Willie Thomas, linebacker from back in the day, will be our special guest. And I believe Willie's got a Reading connection. I believe he's still living in the Reading area.
Mm-hmm.
He was doing some.
I think he lives like maybe 5 minutes from here, from where we're at.
Okay. And I think he's working for the system in some capacity.
I'm not sure what he does full time. Something with schools, I think. But I know on in the afternoons and the evenings and the weekends, he's a sports referee, I believe.
Yep.
For youth. So
he's
always around.
Yep, he's an official, and he's made time for us. So that'll be next Wednesday night. So we'll pick his brain about the current Eagles team. Maybe he's got a story or two that he can throw our way. Talking Eagles. But before
I'm sure he'll be excited that they address the linebacker situation.
Yeah, for sure. Let's hold that Eagles talk for the next segment, because I just want to clear out a couple of pieces of old business, and one being the 76ers exiting in the second round again this year. Lauren, I'll throw it over to you. Go easy.
No, I really can't say I'm surprised at all. I said it a couple weeks ago on this show. The guy to my right gave me a hard time when I told you that if they went down 2-0, they weren't going to win the series. Told me I was crazy. And that's exactly what happened, because Joel Embiid, first of all, was out there half dead as far as I'm concerned. My biggest takeaway from it, Joel Embiid is never going to have a completely healthy season. It's not going to happen. He's too big. He's too aggressive. He hits the floor too many times. So this offseason has to be spent in determining what happens when he gets hurt. Because by the time you get to the playoffs, he is running on fumes. So who steps in? Because if there is no one to step in, you are never going to win. So that's my takeaway from everything that happened. And honestly, I will tell you, I was more upset last year when they lost in the playoffs than I was this year. It never really looked good from the start, that second series, other than one game. They never really looked like a complete team. They never really looked like they had the energy. And even if they had somehow squeaked out a win and gotten to the third round, they would have. You were never winning a championship with that team the way they looked in that second round.
The other problem is you have Harden. If he comes back next year, that doesn't make me feel like that they're going to win with that crew. I mean, that bench needs to learn how to make shots. All these other teams' benches, these guys, stepped up. You saw the Heat hitting all these shots. I'm like, the Sixers can't do that. They get lucky a game or two. Danny Green has a bunch of shots, but where's everyone else? That Tobias Harris contract is utterly ridiculous. James Harden looks like he got old very quickly. I just, going into next season, I don't know how they're going to go sell season tickets again and tell everyone they're almost there, because they've been saying that for the last 5 or 6 years. It's like, do something and then people react. I don't know. I'm sure once we get to the winter and people forget a lot of that stuff, they'll be excited just that Sixers are playing again. But when they get to the playoffs, in the back of my mind is going to be, hey, same thing's going to happen again unless they do it.
Do you see my mother's comment?
Can you explain it? Because I'm sitting in the same room as her, and she's
So she's got the closed caption on her phone because she has the show on, but doesn't want the volume to play. So when you said whoever they're going to interview for the Flyers head coach, the closed caption picked it up as battery trucks instead of the guy's actual name. That's what the system thought you said.
Oh, for Barry Trotz,
right? Yeah. So that's just the Sue's view for you. But yeah, I mean, Danny Green, he's probably done. I can't imagine a guy that's 34 years old can come back from those injuries he's got.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
Tobias,
I felt just horrible for him. That was just the culmination of the season right there.
Right.
I mean, that just did it for me. The whole Harden thing, and I go back to when we kicked around this whole trade thing and how it was going to impact the team, and he was never healthy with the Nets.
Right.
And we came here, and Anthony, I think you're spot on when you said he got old. I don't think he's healthy, and I definitely think he lost a step or two. So where does that leave you for next year? He's got a player option for big money.
Yeah, so you're in a not great spot because you got the Tobias Harris contract and you got his contract, so it doesn't really leave you much room to go out and get someone. You can get a bench player here or there, but they just need to be consistent on that bench. And it's great that Joel Embiid is like the heart of the team, but you have to rally around when he's out because like Lauren said, he's going to get hurt, he's going to be out. You have to figure out a way to win. And I feel like they totally give up when he's not in. And you can't win a championship like that.
Here's my ultimate bitch. You gave up so much to unload Simmons that you literally traded away your bench in Curry and Drummond. And you had nobody to replace either one of those guys. And you dropped 3 or 4 seats down the row, to bring in, Reed as your backup center. Now, ultimately, the kid may be an NBA player, but not for this current, playoff year. The game just moved a little too fast for him. You had, Forkmaz, you had George, Niang. Nobody could make a shot. I mean, it was a great night when Danny Green was hitting the buckets in the corner. I mean, just not enough. Not enough.
I know they wanted to do that move to get rid of the whole Simmons fiasco, and I get it. And at the time, everyone's very excited. But just like a baseball team that needs pitching, if they just have hitting or vice versa, just because you got those 2 guys, the other guys have to step up because all those guys are going to do is get double teamed now. So, and it was so weird to watch because you see Danny Green making all these shots some games, but the rest of the guys not even missing the shots, just horrible shot selection, just not even close. Air balls, and it's just. Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking. I know Doc says he wants to come back and all that's going to be good, but it essentially seems like they're saying same for next year, and same doesn't feel like they're going to do anything winning wise by that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's they got a lot of holes to fill as well. I feel like this whole Philly sports thing, you could break down every team and they all have the same problems.
Yep.
You're just missing some key pieces all of a sudden. Now, John, correct me if I'm wrong. Did you say Curry and Drummond are both free agents with the Nets?
Well, Drummond is, and I'm not sure about Curry if he's got maybe one more year left.
Okay.
But Drummond is, and there was rumors that he may come back, with the team, as an option. I mean, they say they're going to have some room to be able to get some veteran minimum guys to be able to fill out the bench, and that's what they're going to need. I mean, because
Yeah, but you ultimately need a scorer. You need
Correct.
somebody. Harden's not working out, and healthy or not healthy. Um, it's
Well,
going to take a lot to get rid of that contract.
I'll tell you who was a scorer, and not that this is going to change anything now, but Jimmy Butler was a scorer. Jimmy Butler had some fire. You shouldn't have got rid of Jimmy Butler in the first place, because Tobias Harris is one of the worst contracts that they've ever. I mean, it's horrible. He is not consistent. He doesn't play hard. You don't see him for quarters at a time, then he scores a bunch. Like, how is that a leader of this team? I don't know what they were thinking on that one. Jimmy Butler wants to win, whether they do or not. You can never say he didn't play hard.
Yeah, well, I mean, they had the deal signed. He was ready to sign here, and Coach Brown didn't want him on the team, and he went and told the front office he can't be here.
Well, was it Brown or was it Ben Simmons that or the combination of the two? Because I had heard that Simmons and Butler didn't get along.
Oh yeah, they definitely didn't get along. That's for sure. But
maybe one guy told him to play hard and the other guy didn't like it. That's probably the problem.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, did you hear the rumor that Maxey and Harden don't get along?
You know what? I've read an awful lot since the elimination game, and I don't know what to think. I mean, Maxey may be your second best player on the team.
Well, he is. Yeah, I mean, and I'm probably going to be the minority in this, and that's okay. But Harden doesn't bother me and his play as much as he seems to bother other people, because as far as I'm concerned, you got somebody for Ben Simmons. You had nothing before. So at least you got somebody on the court that takes some of the pressure off Embiid. When he is on, he makes the other guys on the court better.
Mm-hmm.
And at least he draws that pressure away, which I think is key for Embiid, because the amount of fouls he takes and how many times he hits the floor, he needed that help. So I don't really mind so much. And I think all of us sort of knew that James Harden was on the tail end of his career. But getting rid of Curry and getting rid of Drummond was tough, but you had to give the Nets something else.
I understand.
They weren't going to just do a straight up trade for that. And as far as I'm concerned, Ben Simmons didn't play a minute for them. So as far as who won that trade, I'm still okay with Harden. But you have to play to his strengths now that we know what he can't do anymore.
Well, the problem is you don't have a consistent bench, so he's got no one to pass to.
Right, and I understand that. And I think the bench is first and foremost, and then learning how to play without Embiid. Because unless they start playing the playoffs in the beginning of the season, he's never going to be healthy for the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, and the other problem is we don't know necessarily, maybe the coach thinks he does, but we don't know necessarily that the guys on that bench aren't the guys, because the problem is, other than Korkmaz and Niang, there's a whole lot of guys that I don't remember seeing play for a very long time. So it's not like he rotates those guys unless they're up 30-plus points, but I never get to see them in actual action. So are they not good, or is he not giving them a chance?
You're not a big Isaiah Joe fan?
I don't know, because I haven't seen him other than sitting on the bench. Let him play, and I'll tell you.
Yeah. I just don't – I don't know. I mean, I just feel like we go about this every year the same way. Lauren, you talked about it again a number of times. Year after year after year, the process. And here we are. We really have two players, that we can go to war with. In Embiid when he's healthy, and Maxey. Because he's so young and energetic. Where do you, I mean, can you sum it up in less than 2 minutes of, where do you go from here? I mean, what do you do?
I really don't think they're in as bad of a spot as maybe other people think. I think they need bench help. I also wonder, I mean, we heard an awful lot about Doc Rivers and his capability in the playoffs and him as a coach and what can he do. So, I mean, some of it's got to be on him too. Some of it's got to be putting his guys in the right spots. Mm-hmm. Going back to what Anthony said about the bench, Korkmaz was in a slump. He wasn't doing well. And so he just wasn't playing. Yeah. Well, you can't get a guy out of a slump if he's sitting on the bench. You got to give him a chance to get his mojo back. And, he just sits him on the bench until Anthony said, like, they're up 30, and then he'll put him in.
Right.
So you have to have better bench rotation to give those guys more time out on the floor with Embiid, with Harden, with those guys, so they all know how to play together. And it was just like, back in elementary school, you put the A team out there, and then once you had a big enough lead, you put the B team in. There was no sort of rotation. And by the time those guys got out there, they're all running around tripping over each other because the last time they played was, 3 weeks ago when they were kicking some other team's ass. So I think better bench, just, strategy and process there. And then once again, figuring out how to play when Joel Embiid is out, because there is no more if he's healthy. Plan on him not being healthy at this point. Plan on him being out and figure out how to win.
And you know what? There's a lot of, I know it's not a great comparison, but when you watch like Michael Jordan, those teams back in the day, all those bench players participated, from Steve Kerr, they
were role players.
Right. But how do you even know these guys are good or not if they don't even get to play? They might be good. If they're not, get rid of them. But, and then, I don't know if this is a great comparison, but I feel a lot of times like Doc Rivers, one of those guys like a Dusty Baker, where he gets pretty far, but he could just never get there. He's been in the playoffs 9 trillion times. And what happened? He lost again. Okay, and I'll get you to the playoffs next year. Like, is he the guy, or is that overrated, the coach? I don't know. But when you watch basketball playoffs now, it looks like they still had a long way to go. I don't know if they could beat a Bucks or beat some of those other teams. They look pretty strong.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna definitely add them to the list, because it's going to be a long summer with a lot of rumors and projected trades and whatnot. John, you have any last minute thoughts on the Sixers?
To follow up what Lauren was saying, I mean, I kind of agree too. Like Harden's got to adjust his game, because he was too much used to being ball dominant and waiting to the last 2 seconds on the shot clock, and then being able to drive the lane and getting the shot. But that's not happening now, and he's got to get other guys involved, because you can't pass it off with 2 seconds left and expect the guy to have a shot there too much. It's just too much waiting, too much slow time dribbling around there and just waiting and just the ball need to be moved better, like you said, Lauren, with to get Maxey involved a little bit more. To get Tobias had a good playoff series. I mean, everybody wants to knock on him. I don't think he was a problem. He stepped up, I thought, throughout the playoffs. So I don't know. I mean, maybe he was just trying to fight for his job and to stay here with the Sixers or what. But
I think he was just a little too late.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, it could be, but I mean, maybe he's
during the season, his play was abysmal.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was different. He definitely, I thought he was going to take more of a step once Harden got here. And it took a little longer for him to find his spot. And once he did, he was hitting out that outside shot that we needed. And, but like I said, it was just maybe a little too late.
I think the game has changed so dramatically, throughout the NBA. If you don't have 3-point shooters,
right.
That's, forget about it. If you don't have guys who can throw up threes and I don't know what the average is. What is it? 38, 39% throughout the league.
Yeah, right around there. Yeah.
And the Sixers were barely tipping the scales at 18 to 20%. And, it was just, it was horrible. It was horrible.
Well, and Joel's not a big guy who traditionally stands down low like Elijah wanted those guys. So if he's out shooting threes, then you got no one scoring any 2-point. It's not good.
Right.
Yeah, the game has definitely changed. We're not in the 80s and 90s anymore. That's for darn sure. And everything gets reviewed. The review gets reviewed. I mean, it just drives you crazy. I mean, it's. But hey, we had Jimmy Butler here. We had the chance to re-sign him. We didn't do it, and now we're paying for it.
Yeah.
So, but speaking about moving on, the Phillies are home. Game number 2 tonight versus the Padres. Do we have an update? Anybody watching the game?
No
No
score.
score. No score. Padres are a pretty good team. They spread the wealth around, and they just recently picked up Robinson Cano like they
Yeah.
needed
Another
another bat in the lineup, right? But we're down another big man that that the team needs. Bryce Harper's out. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. I think we get a piece of information every day.
Yeah, a little bit, a little crumb.
And I'm afraid when the story pops, it's not going to be good. And I hope I'm dead wrong, because this team needs him so bad. He's the leader, and
When did this injury happen? Because I feel like I totally missed that.
It was a freak play about 3 weeks ago, 2.5, 3 weeks ago. He made one throw from the outfield, and he just threw it wrong, and his elbow, you could just see him right there. He just grabbed his elbow.
John, help me out here. Hasn't he had an issue from time to time with his back and throwing?
Yeah, more so with his back, yes. But this was right with the UCL on his elbow.
Right. Yeah.
Which basically it's like a Tommy John. It's almost Tommy John surgery, I believe.
Right.
Well,
yeah.
And that's why what Brian's saying here is it worse? It might be. 3 weeks is a while ago. It's not like it's a sprained ankle, a game or two. 3 weeks is a long time in the baseball world.
It sounds to me, without really knowing what it is, that it's worse than what it is, and they're trying to limp it along this season when he probably needs surgery and to be shut down, but they want to avoid that because the city may be lit on fire.
Well, that's exactly right, Lauren. Rhys Hoskins had the same issue when he had that collision at first base over the season. He needs to be shut down, but fortunately we have the DH available right at the moment in the league, and if we didn't have the DH, he would be shut down.
But I still don't quite understand, and I'm no doctor, but he can't play because he can't throw, but he can get up to the plate and swing for the fences and have that arm and that elbow exposed to potentially take a ball or a collision at the plate or whatever. And that's okay. It seems so ass backwards to me.
Well, I think it's more that they're just he's not going to make it any worse as far as.
But don't you want it to?
He's going to need surgery. Well, he's going to need surgery. So if it's going to be cleaned up, in the off season, and fortunately for, just like Rhys Hoskins was able to bounce back, because it's a better scenario than a pitcher, obviously.
I like how we're comparing Rhys Hoskins to Bryce Harper.
It's not about that. It's just a matter of he was able to come back with that from that injury.
It's just my Rhys Hoskins poke of the night. That's all.
I know it is. I know.
Well, the problem is it's not like it's August and we're trying to get through September. It is May, and there's a long time to play. So I would say whatever you got to go out with, let's get it figured out now so you can come back later or not. Either way, this isn't helping anyone.
Well, I think the problem is he wouldn't be back for the season.
Right.
Well, I think you got to do what you got to. Just at least be honest with the fans. Now, listen, I know it's a Wednesday night, but I'm looking at the attendance and it looked pretty rough when you're playing a team like the Padres. You know what I mean?
But wait, you don't like Roman Quinn playing right field or a Double in center field? I mean, there's two guys that weren't even on the roster, the last week of spring training, and here they are. They're starting every night in center and right field.
You got to just get rid of those guys. I mean, those guys have been part of a bunch of failed teams over the last couple of years, and they're nice guys. That I'm sure. But it's enough after all this time.
Roman Quinn is nice.
Yeah, Roman Quinn's nice, but no one ever said, "Hey, when we won a championship, we have Roman Quinn." I think it might be time to move on. Now the problem is they had no other options, but it just feels like, I don't know. It doesn't feel like that's who you should keep trotting out there.
Yeah, it's definitely a weak link out there in the outfield because there's they're batting 8th and 9th, and they bring absolutely nothing. At least Schwarber was leading the league in home runs, but He had a rough night last night, man. He looked like me up there striking out 4 times. I mean, that was pretty darn pathetic. But I did see an encouraging photo come out of Clearwater. Mickey Moniak's down in Clearwater rehabbing, so hopefully he's going to make his way back up, and find his spot out in center field. Hopefully within the next couple of weeks.
Oh yeah.
You know.
I think too, if with Harper coming off the MVP, he doesn't want to not be playing, right now. So I mean, he's actually doing well. I think actually it's helped him. He's got a better swing because he's not as violent with his swing.
Well, help me out here because all of this happened kind of like Sunday. You know what I mean? The announcement of him getting this
the shot.
The shot, and then all of a sudden everybody kind of like, whoa, what? You know what I mean? What just happened? You know what I mean? Like, did things get worse? Because now all of a sudden, they're doing an injection. Nobody wants a needle in any part of their body.
Right.
So from that Sunday on, we've kind of, we've lost, a lot of the fact that they were 5-2 on that road trip and he was tearing the cover off the ball. Right.
Right. Oh yeah, no, exactly.
And since Sunday, we've taken a huge step back now, and it's just because again, here we are. You take Embiid off the floor, you take Harper off the field, and it just breaks your team down to the point where you've got these pieces that are just not accountable.
Well, that's the problem, is that shouldn't be a thing. Those guys are professional athletes. They should be able to come to the plate and do it. And they can't. And, it's great when they're there, but if they're not going to be there and, contribute in a way that helps the team, you might as well shut them down to fix the problem.
Right.
And other guys need to step up. I mean, this is a whole nother story, but the whole small ball thing doesn't happen. So it ends up being a lot of strikeouts if they aren't hitting a home run. Schwarber just struck out trying to hit it to the moon. I mean, it's just going to keep happening.
I was, I had to get up and just take a walk last night because there's Roman Quinn trying to bunt against probably the best third baseman in all of baseball, for a base hit. And we're talking about small ball. I know he's trying to get on. I know he's trying to make something happen, bunt for a base hit, steal second, steal third. But at that point, they were already losing 3-0.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was, and I just, there was no offense. There was no energy all night. What did Joe say? He kind of, when he slumps back in the manager's chair and, he kind of like admits defeat, I get a little nervous. Because I just, I need more juice. I need something from my manager, and I'm just, and again, I know we're coming off a 5-2 road trip, but here we are back home and you got 3 with the Padres and 4 with the Dodgers. Not looking real good, is it, John?
No, I think they'll be okay. Like I said, I just want them, they're 17 and 19 right at the moment. I just want them to be close to 26 and 26 after the first 52 games. That's when the schedule lightens up a little bit for them. If you hang around right there at 500 right there at 52 games into the season, this team's going to be fine. Obviously, that was prior to when Harper situation that he is in as well. But 50% of Harper is better than Roman Quinn and Odubel Herrera out there.
I'm 100% with you, but
that's the problem. The problem is that we just don't have him in the field.
And I just don't understand playing through this injury. Is it helping or hurting? They say it's not going to hurt him, but I don't know. I'm not a medical scientist, but it can't be good either way. Like Lauren said, what happens if he comes crashing in at home plate and like the what game was it yesterday? The Pirates and Cubs.
Yeah.
And
Vogelback.
The big man came crashing in at home plate and he wasn't happy. And the next thing you know, you got a free for all.
Well, I think their scenario that they don't think that there's a you can't make it worse is more. He's going to need surgery, so no matter what it's going to be, you know,
All right.
having him out there for 5 weeks, 2 more days, whatever it might be, is better than not having him out there because he's not going to be back for the rest of the year. So if they can, coddle him through the season, and then in the off season, then do the surgery, he'll be okay.
Well, I think, John, I think the problem too is just like Joel Embiid. The issue isn't Bryce Harper. That's a smaller issue. It's all these other guys that need to start stepping up. That just doesn't happen. Someone's got to take that leadership. When someone's sick, someone's got to step up. So whether that's JT or Schwarber or whoever, someone needs to step up and get the guys fired up.
Yeah. No, you're right on that part. Yeah. And but I like I said,
and JT's having a horrible, horrible start to the season. You know what I mean?
Well, it seems like all these teams have the same thing in common. There's no leader, no vocal leader that you can at least see on the bench, because then I think fans would be okay with it. If it's not coming from the manager in Girardi's case, then you have to see someone getting the guys rallied up. At least then it looks like they're trying. Whether they are or they're not, that's different. But you got to see it. If not, all you see is guys striking out, going to commercial. Guys striking out, going to commercial. Right. It just gets frustrating as a fan after a while.
Well, post game with Ricky Bottalico is always encouraging. It's always fun watching him go crazy.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
but no, like I said, that's the hard thing. It's because he may get hurt. He is technically hurting himself more. Harper, but it's.
I hope not. He's a big, I'm not even going to say he's the big piece, to this puzzle. He is the piece, because I think they go as far as he can take them.
No, you're right. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I hate to keep comparing him to Joel Embiid, because I think he's probably he falls a lot. I get it, man. He plays hard. I never saw a big man diving for so many loose balls in all my life.
Well, that's because most of the time he's not under the bench to get them, or under the basket to get them.
That's also because no one else has any energy, so he's got to.
Well. Yeah, I don't know. Moving on, because the night is getting away from us, folks. Like it does on most Wednesday nights. It's the fastest hour in sports.
Yes, it is.
But Eagles talk. We thought that Howie was done. The draft, he had a hell of a draft. He did some incredible things, wheeling and dealing, trading, signing free agents, and he wasn't quite done. John, you want to take it over from here?
Yeah, signing Brandon. Was it Brandon Bradbury?
James Bradbury.
James. Yep, James. Even better with James. But signing
the other
Bradbury,
James.
Yeah. Signing Bradbury today. I mean, he's a Pro Bowler. He's a guy that's going to help the defense out a lot. And how he's setting this team up for a few years, even though Bradbury deal is only a 1-year deal, but they're hoping that's going to lead to more years with getting him onto this field and playing with the team and getting the numbers to work out. I think it's a good move. With him and Slay on the other side, is going to help. And hopefully this team can step up now a little bit. They got everything around, and now it's Jalen Hurts' turn to step up and take the team control.
Are they the two best corners in all of football?
I mean, they're up there. I mean, I hate once you get a signing like that, and everybody's like, "Oh, they're the two best." Well, there's other teams that have some good corners too. But I mean, they're up there. I would say they definitely are.
Well, between him and Slay, 15 picks and 80 breakups.
Right.
That's some pretty good defense.
Oh yeah. No, absolutely.
I don't know too many. I mean, the Eagles already have a pretty favorable schedule. And I say favorable because we'll break it down later on in the summer as to wins and losses, because we got a lot to go over. But the Eagles have themselves in pretty good shape.
They do.
Offensively and defensively. I mean, what did you tell me today? The defense has spent like $90-some million.
Yeah, like the top 16 players on the defense is almost $94 million on defense. So and then the top 17 for the offense is at 71 million. So yeah, they went heavy on defense this year, which is what we needed, and the only spot that they didn't really address right at the moment is safety. And hopefully our draft pick from a couple years ago, Wallace, is able to step in. He's been injured a little bit, Kayvon Wallace, and hopefully he can maybe take the step that we were hoping when we drafted him that he could do. And then we'll see what happens. But I could see him doing well, this year. It's just with me, it's always about Jalen Hurts. It's always about the quarterback. You gotta if he could step up, this team could win 12, 15 games. I mean,
wow.
and I said 15.
Wow.
I mean, they could. I mean, it's
Sean, I know you're still out there. Did you just hear that?
He did. He fell over though. He didn't spill his beer though, but he fell over.
12-15.
Well, I mean, they could have. I mean, if you look at it. I mean, if he can play well, you got Devontae Smith on the outside, and you got added AJ Brown to the other side, with Goddard, with that offensive line. I mean, they can. Do I think that's going to happen? I don't, because I just don't believe that much in Jalen Hurts.
Hey, real quick, week 1, guess who comes back home?
Week 1 here.
At Washington? Carson?
How do you think the fans will welcome him back?
That poor
I don't
guy.
know.
They're not gonna. Zero chance he gets applause. Zero chance.
I don't know. I feel like it might be a 50-50 split.
I don't think so anymore. Just the way it kind of ended in Indianapolis, I think people are just down on him.
Yeah, I think it may be more ugly as well. I mean,
week 1,
it shouldn't be, but I
Carson
think
Wentz.
Yeah, and then you got what week 2 or 3 was we got Jacksonville with
Doug Peterson.
With Peterson coming up. So
yeah,
Just
I know. We take it 1 week at a time. Week 1's got me excited. I mean, that's going to be fun.
Hey, but just before you end the talk of football, before we end, is anyone watching this USFL? I saw the other night the replay. It said that during that game, it said the Stars were 2-2. Is anyone watching it like they wanted to? Have you heard anything about it? Because it's got to be successful with ratings in order for them to actually bring the players to Philadelphia. It seems.
Right.
Yeah,
is that what it is? Is that what it was? The ratings? Because we were wondering, because everything's down in Alabama, and they said it was going to eventually get to home field.
They said if ticket sales and ratings were good enough, because it's on NBC, that next year they would bring all the teams to their actual cities. Okay. Which obviously you'd have more fan participation if they were playing in Philadelphia.
Right.
But I feel like it's also tough. Like, hey guys, watch this game, and if enough people watch it, we'll bring them to town. You know what I mean? But I didn't know if anyone's actually watching it.
I was a big Stars fan back in the day, and I haven't had a chance to watch it as much as I wanted to.
But if it was any good, we would make it. We would make the time for it, right?
Well, yeah, that too. But also, like, it just doesn't seem like they're pushing it enough that you even know when the games are.
Or is the answer that spring football finally just doesn't work? Maybe it's too much of a good thing. You watched it all winter. You're ready for baseball. Do people really want to go watch another? I don't know. I feel like it's tried a million times. It never works.
Yeah, it's
true. That's true.
It's definitely got its negative, views. I mean, it did well early on, with the Stars, in the 80s.
Right.
It was a different brand, though.
John, I think you're right. I don't feel like they're promoting it very well, the first week or two, but I haven't heard a thing since.
Yeah, I think what was Easter was the first week, I believe it was.
Yeah.
I think Easter Sunday, and you just you haven't really heard much about it. Like, hey, just commercials, like, hey, there's a game on, this week or whatever. You just not seen it.
And Brian makes the point that I was thinking, yes, you want people to come if people, they say enough people have to watch it, but if there's no investment in your own city, right, no one's going to care.
Exactly. No, exactly. And because let's face it. I mean, I think too, if the NFL was smart, they would use it as a feeder program with teams. because there's so many injuries nowadays that if you could have a feeder team that is running the same system that you're running, it would be a better product for the NFL as well.
Like the NBA has done with the G League.
G League, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not going to obviously compete, but hey, if you're playing the same way, that hey, Miles Sanders got hurt or whoever, that you could put a running back in there and be like, okay, he's going to know the plays and not be like, okay, well, we signed him, but he's got to wait 2 weeks to play because he's got to learn the system, the way we're going to do it or whatever. Like, that would be so much better. And, that may even help like a guy like Jalen Hurts, who I'm saying is a little bit different, but, just whoever you want as that, but as a guy that needs that little extra experience or tooling to get better, like that might help guys like that be able to succeed better in the league in years to come as well. That you're not forcing them out there, day one or type of thing. So,
well, another great week, another great show, another Wednesday night happy hour with the crew.
Yes.
I want to thank Lauren and Anthony for, again, taking time out of their busy schedule. I want to wish you a safe trip to Pittsburgh.
Thank you.
You know what I collect, so bring me back something nice.
Well, the last time I was at that guy's store in Pittsburgh, you got an autographed Wayne Gretzky wine bottle.
I know, that was my Christmas present, remember?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So my birthday's coming. So
no pressure.
Nope, none. Zero.
Mm-hmm.
Zero. Like a 2-year-old. Did you hear her, folks?
Yeah.
I'm just wishing you guys, a great, safe trip. You deserve it. You haven't been anywhere. You've been working your ass off since what did I hear? Since the honeymoon. This is your first trip out.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Well, you guys deserve it. Have a great however many days you're going. If you fall short on funds, let me know. I'll Venmo you some money and
Well, we have that card. Uh-huh.
That's fine.
All right. On that note,
Johnny,
you got anything to close with? I know you always got a secret that you're holding out on.
Well, just wish my two boys happy birthday. Their birthday's tomorrow, so
happy birthday.
Yep. So,
happy 20th birthday.
20th. No more teenagers.
Wow.
20th birthday. So
Wow.
Tyler and Kyle turned 20.
Yep, exactly.
Wow. Very nice.
Yep, they're excited because we got them a puppy for their birthday. So
Nice.
Yep.
And the name of the puppy is
Harper.
Okay.
Might have to name it UCL now. I don't know. That might be the middle name. I'm not sure. But
so maybe we're holding you accountable for this whole name thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I mean, ever since we got the dog, Harper's been going off. So, he set the record out there in LA with 7 extra base hits. So,
had a great week. Great week, and hopefully, I wish him the best.
They were 5-2. So I mean, the dog's a winning dog.
All right. All right, dogs. Have a great week. Have a great weekend.
Yes.
Say hello to all our friends out there in Pittsburgh.
And for anybody looking for something to do on Sunday, City Distilling is celebrating their 2nd birthday. So head over to their tasting room in Philadelphia. You definitely won't be disappointed. I guarantee you that. They do have all the details on their Facebook page. So just look up City Distilling. You'll see it there. There's an event for it. But that's this Sunday, May 22nd.
Yep. Special thanks to Jamie and Nick, the 2 owners there. Do a great job. If you go, you may see me. It's not 100% yet, but if you see me, I'll buy you a drink. I hope so. She ain't never seen a drink she didn't like.
That's true.
But anyway, great week, great weekend. Have a safe trip, and I wish everybody the best. Hey, turn the air conditioners on now because it's supposed to be 90 degrees over the weekend.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
get the environment turn up a little bit because man, I can't imagine it's gonna hit 90 already.
Yes.
Yep.
So. All right, guys and gals, thanks everybody who joined us, and we'll catch you hopefully next week at Hanrahan's Irish Pub.
Yes. Thank you.
Take care. Have a good night.